Hello everybody. It is about noon on Good Friday. I'm out here in my garden in Alameda, so you might hear some street noise, you might hear some bees here in the wisteria. But I wanted to check in with you and also read you a couple of poems. I've been really happy with the way our Zoom meetings are going. You all have really engaged in this new medium, and I think we've all learned a lot. I certainly have. I never intended to be a videographer, but here we are, and the Holy Spirit is moving in ways that we don't understand, and are ways that are pulling us in new directions. So I just wanted to thank you for your participation and your patience with our Zoom meetings and how that's going. And I know that it is very different from our usual Holy Week services. But I have found an element of the sacramental in the way that we have been digging into the scriptures and how the liturgy of the word has been lifted up. So thank you for being a big part of that. Today I would like to read a couple of poems. One is by George Herbert, who was a 17th century religious poet. He was also a parson in England, and he writes metaphysical poetry. One of them is called Good Friday. O my chief good, how shall I measure out thy blood? How shall I count what thee befell, and each grief tell? Shall I thy woes number according to thy foes? Or since one star showed thy first breath, shall all thy death? Or shall each leaf which falls in autumn score a grief? Or cannot leaves but fruit be sign of the true vine? Then let each hour of my whole life one grief devour, that thy distress through all may run and be my son. Or rather let my several sins their sorrows get, that as each beast his cure doth know, each sin may sow. Since blood is fittest, Lord, to right thy sorrows in and bloody fight, my heart hath store right there wherein one box doth lie both ink and sin, that when sin spies so many foes, thy whips, thy nails, thy wounds, thy woes, all come to lodge there, sin may say, no room for me, and fly away. Sin being gone, O fill the place, and keep possession with thy grace, lest sin take courage and return, and all the writings blot or burn. That was Good Friday by George Herbert. The second poem I'd like to read is by Jan Richardson from her book Circle of Grace, a book of blessings for the season. And this poem is called Still. This day let all stand still in silence, in sorrow. Sun and moon, be still. Earth, be still. Still the waters, still the wind. Let the ground gape in stunned lamentation. Let it weep as it receives what it thinks it will not give up. Let it groan as it gathers the one who is thought forever stilled. Time, be still. Watch and wait. Still. That was by Jan Richardson from her Circle of Grace, a book of blessings for the season. And you can also find her poetry online at her blog, A Painted Prayer Book. So thank you for joining me today. I will be preaching my Good Friday sermon soon and posting both this and the sermon on our YouTube channel. And blessings to you this Good Friday.